Now let's work backwards. In the previous question, we were given the points and we had to draw them. Here we've got the points already drawn. We just had to write down what the coordinates are. And so it's probably good right away to just remind ourselves that the y-axis is up there and that the x-axis is down here. As well as it's important to label these. So the positives. So in the x direction, it's +1. That means going right here, +3, 4, and 5. And up and down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So positive in the y direction means up, and positive in the x direction means right. But let's go left here. That would be negative in the x direction. So -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. And negative in the y direction, which is down. So -1, -2, -3, -4, and it's hard to see here, I'll write it over top, -5. Okay, now we can write down these points. So A here, how did we get to here? What were the instructions? And you always have to do the x direction first, and then you can go by the y. That's what the ordered pair is. So you can look down here, I've gone -3 in the x direction, and I've gone 2 in the y direction. So that's our answer. So we would have gone 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's how it would have that's what it would have taken to get there. Okay, B, it's -2 in the x direction. Where's B here? Here we go. -2 in the x direction and +3 in the y direction. So we would have gone 2 to the left and up 3 to get there. C in the x direction here is going to be 2, and the y direction is 3. D, the x direction is 3, and the y direction is 2. So I'm always looking for the x first. E here, 3 is my x, and then my y is -2. F, 2 is my x, and -3 is my y. Okay, what else I have? Oh, G here. So -2 is my x, and -3 is my y. So hopefully you're picking up on the pattern here. We're just telling the instructions, the x instruction first, and then the y. So for H, the x instruction is -3, and then -2 for the y instruction. Ooh, I is in the origin there, so that moves nowhere, 0, 0. And J here, the x direction, well, that's nothing. I haven't moved anywhere. And then the y direction there is -5. So that is all of the points. Locating all the points, that's working backwards from what we just did. All right, let's move on here to slope between 2 points. So the pitch of a roof, or the steepness of a roof, or the steepness of a ski run, or the gradient of a mountain road are all the examples of steepness. And so we are going to measure the steepness. We're going to measure the slope. And we've all agreed on the same way to do it. And that is rise. How much do you rise up versus or over how much do you run? How much do you go up and down? So this is kind of our up and down versus our right and left. That's all it wants to know. That's how everyone around the world measures steepness. First, you're going to tell me how far up and down we're going to go, and then how far left or right we're going to go. And we always call that letter M. So we say slope equals M. So we use the letter M, and then we always say rise over run. It's a ratio. So we're going to determine what the slope is of this person going down this ski slope. So M. The first thing you want to know is how much did you rise and how much did you run? That's what we want to figure out first. So you always got to start at the, well, for these things, at the top. And we are starting here, and we know that because this person is heading in this direction, so they are heading down. So we start at the top. And how far down did we go? Well, we only moved down 2 boxes, 2 marks to get to where we are. So we've risen up, but it is down. So I'm going to put -2 because we've gone down 2. And then how far over did we go? Well, we went to the right, so it's positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we went 8 to the right. So we would say our slope is -2 over 8. However, that can be reduced. We can simplify still. As it's a ratio or a fraction, we can simplify to be -1 over 4. So that is considered the simplified slope. That's the steepness. Okay, so let's try again here. We're starting at the top. And we're heading this direction. So when I want to find my slope, I always start by writing it down. Rise over run. Now, how much did we rise? Well, let's say we're heading down. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've gone down 8. So 8, but it was heading down. So I'm going to put a minus. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. We ran 4. However, it is left. And when you're moving left on a graph, it's always negative. So it's -8 over -4. So that can be simplified. Negative over negative is a positive, and 8 over 4 is 2. So we would say that the slope, the rise over run, is 2. Okay, let's keep going here. So I start right here. And I'm going to here. How much did we go? Well, we're heading down. 1, 2, 3. So our rise is 3, but we were heading down. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we would say our run is 6. Now, is that left or is that right? So we're going towards the left here. So left is negative. So -3 over -6, which will be a positive. And it's a positive 1/2. 3 over 6 is the same as 1/2. Okay, let's see here. What slope would be completely horizontal? So if we had a horizontal line and you just had your ski person here moving, what would the slope be? So if it's completely horizontal, the slope, that would actually be 0. There is no steepness. There's no steepness. Now, what happens if we had someone completely vertical? Okay, so this is going to be difficult for me to draw, but I'll try here. Maybe we can try starting with a better, well, I don't know how much better that is, but so what if this ski person was going like that? What would the slope be? Like, how steep is it? Well, actually, the slope would be infinity. It would be crazy steep. Look at how, like, that's completely up and down. That is the most steep. So it's like it can't get any more steep. It's the most steep. In fact, we even say, though, that the slope doesn't even exist. We actually say, because it's infinity, we say, well, the slope doesn't even exist. It's off the charts. Okay? It's not even possible. Okay, so the next video we'll do some more slope stuff.